So the 2016 Viking is done, ready. I got the winch cable under the hood. I ain't put that back yet, but it is ready for the boondocks this weekend. Of course, a couple things that I've already had done was the winch and the light. I recommend looking at Amazon for sure, because that 50-inch curve LED bar is bright as all get out, and it was less than $100. I think it was like 70 or something. Now you see this big old massive Gorilla Silverbacks. These are 30-inch Silverbacks on 14-inch STI HD7 rims, which those HD7s, anybody with a Viking looking for rims, if you look at the HDs, wow, shit's everywhere. Still trying to clean up. If you look at these HDs online, if you look at, they're real dirty, but the 7s, HD 7s, you don't have to buy extra center caps. The ones that come with most rims up to the HD6, you have to buy separate center caps to make them fit. So you have the ones that come with the rims just sitting around. It's a big waste. So these are the new, I guess, for 2017, the HD 7s. No more center caps. You just put them on the way they come, they fit. Now of course this 30-inch Silverbacks I put on here with no lift, and they fit, but they scrub. So you have to do some kind of lift. Well, the lift I recommend is these 2-inch spacers. See that spacer right there on top of the spring? Now what that does is takes the body sag out of the weight of the vehicle. So like when you jack it up and then you bring it down and the wheels touch the ground, well then you got a whole bunch more to bring it down because you have all that body sag. Well, that takes that body sag out, but yet keeps your stock geometry basically all the same as far as your axles and everything. I don't recommend getting the brackets that bolt here and drop the whole spring down, because then all that does is push down on your axles, and you end up with issues when you get in a bind. You'll break axles. You can see my axles with 16 inches of ground clearance. My axles are not in a bind. They're actually sitting fairly nice. I've seen a bunch that were way jacked up and it doesn't look good. So that's a 2-inch lift. Spring spacers on front and back. See the spacer right there? It's not easy to get on there, but if you have a commercial kind of spring spacer, it might work. The one I had was really hard because I actually had to knock the spring spacer around in a circle all the way up through these because they're so tight. And if you hook it down here, it does not work. You have to have it hooked up here and down here and pull it tight. And of course I used the one that had two, so there was one on either side, so I had to knock the two top ones all the way around up to the top, which was very difficult, but it will work. So then there's Snorkel, of course, I just completed, which works great. I cupped it both one hand over each one, and engine died. It's sealed good. Got power acoustic stereo, color match speakers. I got an amp and Bluetooth and everything up there. I'm wanting to get a waterproof box and put all that stuff in, but there's a power acoustic amp. Switch I got temporary right now, that I'm gonna replace it, but when I flip that on, the amp comes on and the Bluetooth receiver comes on, and it automatically connects to my phone Bluetooth. I recommend these Bluetooth receivers. It's a Bluetooth audio receiver. Found it on Amazon. It says IBR64. I don't know why it's so blurry in the picture, but it's IBR64. It's an InstaBay Bluetooth audio receiver. It's great. You put your phone away in a waterproof box somewhere and it'll work just fine. So that's the Viking with all of its upgrades and modifications. The only thing that was really custom was the Snorkel, which took me quite a bit, but it was good for on a budget. I mean, it's the most expensive part, seeing as I wanted these to look the way they are. most expensive part is these Schedule 40 fittings. To be able to cut small pieces of pipe and fit them all together, you need a bunch of these fittings to make it fit, to make it come up high enough. You can see all those fittings I had to put end to end, and each one of those are like $2 and something. So that's the most expensive part. The rest of it is the 40, like these 45s are 2 something a piece at Lowe's. Well, all the other 45s you can't see aren't the fancy looking ones. They're the cheap 98-cent ones. Just to try to stay on a budget. I would say I maybe did this whole snorkel system for $100. Maybe not even that. But that's the Viking. 16 inches of ground clearance. I doubt a 5-gallon bucket will fit under there, but might. But you can see real quick the axles on the back are not in a bind. It's a perfect way to get the ground clearance you need. It's those spring spacers. Oh, and you can see the little reverse lights up under there. Those help a lot at night. We do a lot of night riding. Be able to see back in the trees, backing up. But we're ready for the boondocks.